What's going on, guys? Take the Hunter back with another video today. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be testing out the range down here on the new Hearth and Hunt map. We're going to be testing all the rifles except for the 22. I don't have it owned yet, but maybe in a future video we'll look at it. Because I really don't have any need for the 22, honestly. So we're going to do things a little different. So I really like the idea of this range, but I, for one, do think they should maybe rearrange the targets a little bit. Because as you can see right here, we have our 48-yard target, which is basically going to be our 50-yard target. When I shoot, I like shooting at 50, 100 yards, 150 yards, 200 yards. That's the way I like to do it. And I know a lot of people that shoot do it that way as well. So here we have 48 yards. We're not going to shoot at this one here at 62. We're going to shoot, this is going to be basically our 100-yard target, 112. And then out here, instead of 150, we have 168, which I don't know if it's, I don't know, but, and then all of a sudden, then you have 331. I would rather it be more like a just 100, 150, 200, 250, and so on and so forth, every 50 yards pretty much. So what we're going to do is we're going to do these three right here. We're going to jump over and hit this. This is going to be our 200-yard target. That's 275. We might take a shot at it. Yeah, what the heck, we'll shoot that. And then we're going to be doing the 300-yard target, which is 331 in this game. So, but we're also going to be doing it a little different than you think. So we have the Primacy Advance and the Primacy Classic are our first two guns. So if you see down in the bottom left corner, we have the little eyeball, and that eyeball controls the green circle on the screen here. It's basically your hunter sense. We're going to be turning that off because I don't want to be shooting where the green ring is showing. I want to be shooting dead on the target and seeing where it's landing. And we're also going to keep it pretty realistic here. In real life, not many of your casual hunters have the scopes that you can adjust for longer ranges. Like say, like I've got an adjustable scope on one of my guns. It's basically where it's set up for, you can have it zeroed in at 100 yards, but if you need to take a 200-yard, 300-yard shot, you can adjust the CDS on it and take those longer shots. We're just going to be doing fixed at 100, 109 yards, and I just kind of want to see the bullet drop, the ballistics, and so on of each gun. So without further ado, dead on at 50. Dead on at 100, which is what it's zeroed for. Let's go for a 150-yard target. Maybe just a hair low. It was dead on. I went just a hair over the bullseye. Let's try that one more time. Yeah, pretty much dead on. Alright, going for our 200 yard. As you can see, it dropped about, what I want to say, about an inch, which is very realistic. In real life, that's about how much you're going to get difference from 100 to 200 yards. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, it's dropping about an inch. So let's try our 275. And as you can see, that dropped a lot. I mean, we're looking at maybe 4 inches. 4 inches drop. So to compensate for that, let's hold it at the top of the target. What I'd like to see, let's try it one more time. Yeah, so we're definitely getting about a 4 to 5 inch drop. which makes me really nervous to see what this is going to do here at the 300 yard. Wow, that wasn't even close. Not even, it's all the way down on the bottom of his leg, so let's reload. I mean, we're looking at about a foot drop. So let's hold it for the top of the back, see what it does. Still a little bit below the bullseye, about a ½ inch. And let's try it. So, with the Primacy Classic Hunter MK2, the starting rifle is dead on all the way pretty much up to our 150 mark. 200 it dropped off at about an inch. That over at the 275 is about 3-4 inches. And then back here we're looking at 330 yards. We're looking at about a foot. So let's go ahead and get out of this. So that's the Primacy Classic Hunter MK2 starting rifle. Now let's switch over to the Primacy Advance, which is the 6.5 Swedish. We're going to do the same exact thing here. So we're going to zero it for 109. See how it goes. It's dead on at 50. Dead on at 100. Pretty much dead on at 150. Try it at 220. Not really much of a drop there. We're looking at maybe ½ an inch on this gun. This one, so we're already seeing some differences here. Yeah, the 6.5 is holding, is not dropping as much. Very realistic. All right, we're going for the 275. Let's try that one more time just to be sure. Aim for the bullseye. So there we've got about a 2-inch drop. Maybe 3-inch drop. So it's kind of falling off like the first gun did. So now we're going for the 300 yards. 330. And about the same amount of drop. Probably. Oh, I shot really low, but let me try that again. Yeah, we're looking at about a foot, so let's hold it right here at the top of the back. Okay, interesting. It's still not, it's not dropping as much as the first one did. In fact, right at the top of the back, if you remember with the first gun, we were actually aiming more up here to get closer to the bullseye, but this one is right at the top of the back, so this isn't dropping as much. It's still, we're looking at about maybe 9-inch drop. 9 to 10-inch drop with this. So, pretty much like the last one, it was dead on all the way up until our, let's see, what was that again? Let me turn that off. 220 yard target, and it was even dropped ½ inch, so we're even seeing differences between the calibers now, so that's good as well. So dead on, and then we had ½ inch drop at 220, maybe about an inch or two at 275, and the 300 we're looking at about 8-9 inch drop. So let's go ahead and come back to the truck. I don't even know which ones to get next. So we got those first two marked off our list. Let's go ahead and let's do the 338 Lapua. And let's see, the 30-06 1907. And we're, of course, going to put the best scopes on that we have, which is, I believe, the Integrix. On both of them. And let's go again. So, start with a 338. Zero it for 109 yards. Got to pull out our shooting stick here. Dead on at 100 or at 50. Going to 100. Dead on at 100. Going to our 150, 160 yard target. Dead on at 160. Alright, we're going to our 220. Not much drop at all with the 220. I mean, we're not even looking at half an inch here. Maybe a quarter. I would even say a quarter of an inch on this one. So we're seeing differences in this one as well. Our bear at 275, I believe. Is that what it was? Yes, 275. Okay, try that one more time. So it looks like we're sitting at about, I want to say a 1 inch to 2 inch drop. 2 inch drop, I'd say. Probably 3 actually. 3 inch drop at 270. So now let's go for our 300 yard target. Once again, big drop there, but it doesn't seem like it's as bad as the others. So probably a 6 inch drop at 300. So let's see what happens when we hold it at the back. So you can see dead on, just about. So it looks like at about 330, you're going to want to hold it right at the top of the animal's back with this. If you keep it zeroed at 109. A lot of people forget to zero their guns in, but a lot of people might want to do it a more realistic way and just leave it zeroed at a certain amount. I don't know. I mean, I might just be weird and be the only one that does that. So you can see with the let me pull this gun out real fast. With the Primacy Advanced Shift, it was pretty much dead on all the way to right here. We had maybe a 1/4 inch of a drop at the 220. I forgot what we had. Let me just pull it out one more time. Let me shoot this one more time. At the 270. About a 2 or 3 inch drop. And then, obviously, at the end, we're looking at about 6 inches. So, we're definitely seeing some differences between each caliber, which I think is a good, I think is really cool, the way that they've done this. Obviously, they didn't make each gun the same, with just different skin, which is what I like to see. So now let's test out the Primacy Classic 30-06, 1907. And it's already zeroed at 109, so. Dead on at 50. Hold on, I got that a little. Dead on at 100. Wow, dead dead on at 150. Same thing as the last gun, about a half, maybe a quarter of an inch drop at 220. And about a 3-inch drop at 275. Try it one more time just to make sure. Yeah. Alright, now let's try the 330. Not even on the target. Yeah, not even on the target at all. So let's see, at 109 we'll have to hold up. See what happens when we aim at the top of the back. Dead on. Very dead on. Try it one more time. That was not a good shot. Okay, so we're looking at about a 6-7 inch drop. 6-7, sorry. Alright, so it was pretty much dead on until we got to 220, about a quarter inch drop. Then at 275, about a 3-inch drop. And then over here we're looking at least, I don't know what I would call it. Let me try that one more time. If I aim at the top, it's hitting down here, so we're looking at about 8 or 9 inch drop there. So that completes our second round of guns here. Let's go ahead and come in here and clear this out. Clear that out. Alright, so we've done all these, done that. Now we're going to do the Safari Elite. Oh, I actually do have the 22. Never mind. Let's where is it? Let's take the 22 out and just see what it does. I'm very curious to see what it does. So put our Integrix on here. We'll put our Integrix on the 22. I'm kind of excited to see what the 22 does. I didn't even think I had it, so. Alright, so the Strasser 722. Let's go ahead and zero it at 109, which it is. If I can find, alright, here we go. Pretty much dead on at 50. Okay, it's shooting a little bit to the right. I don't know what that means. Okay, never mind. Maybe it's just my shot. So dead on at 100 there. And a huge drop off at 150. I mean, at 150, so it looks like it's dead on pretty much to 100. And then 150, it looks like it drops a good, I want to say 2 or 3 inches at 150. Try it one more time. So we're going to probably have to aim up at the top. Yeah, I'd say a good 6 inches. I mean, good 3 inches. See what it does here. And not even at the target at 220. Aim at the top of the back. Is it not even hitting? Oh no, I see it. It's all the way. Golly. So we're at the top of the back. We're only hitting the leg here. So, I mean, we're looking at a huge drop. Let's see what happens if we hold it up here. Oh, well, I've got to reload. Let's try to hold it up here. Okay, so if we're holding it around here, we're looking at least a foot, maybe foot and a half. 275. I already know what this is going to be. Let's aim right here. That was pretty close. All right, we're definitely looking at at 275. Maybe holding it about like 3 foot. I'm just curious to see if I can even come close. On the 300 here. Well, wow. So we are looking at least 6 foot drop at 300, which I mean it's 22. That's probably more. Yeah, that's probably about a 6 foot drop. At least. Alright, I'm not. Who's shooting a 22 at 328 yards anyway? So, everything was dead on up until about right there. I think we had about an inch drop at. What is that? 170. Then we weren't even close with this one. We had like a. Let me shoot that one. Yeah, we're looking at about a foot drop at least at 220, and then a 3 foot drop at 275, and then a 6 foot drop at 328. So let's switch over here. Let's go to the Safari Elite. So, you know the rules. Here we go. Dead on. 50. Dead on at 100. Probably one of my favorite guns in the game as well. Dead on at 160. And we got about half an inch drop at 220. Probably same thing, 3 inch drop at 275. I'd say about a 3 inch drop. Coming out here to 328. Not even close. And at the top of the back. Oh, dead on, right at the top of the back. So that is about a 6 inch drop, maybe. So 6 inch drop at 328. What do we say over here? 3 inch drop at 275. Over here it was a 1 inch drop. Or no, it was a half inch drop, right? 20? Yeah. Half inch to an inch, 220. And then dead on for the first 3. Dead on it up to 150. So let's go to our next 2 guns, shall we? Of course, I just did that without. I would like to see them change this to where as soon as you clear out a loadout, it just goes ahead and clears the scope off too. I'm not a big fan of having to keep coming back in here and closing this off. Having to take my scope off. Looks like we're down to the last 3. Safari Elite. There we go. Take the scope off. And you can see why I didn't try to do every single gun in the whole video, because we're already 30 minutes in. And we are just now getting done with the rifle. So let's go with the Jack Bear Hunter and the Vigora. Let's get our head grips on here. What do I have on here? Wait, did I just put that on? Well, what's on here? Okay. Alright, so we have our Integrix on both of them. Everybody knows the rules. 109. Try it again. Wait, what am I doing? I need to pull out a shooting stick. I'm selling. As we see, the Jack Bear Hunter shoots a little bit high at 50 yards. When it's zeroed in at 100, which is the first one that's done that. All of them, even though they've all been zeroed in at 100, and this is 55, this is the first one that I'm having that shoots a little high. So, let's go to the 100-yard target, which should be dead on. Which it pretty much is. It's dead on. Let's go to our 150. Whoa! Let's try that again. So 150 zeroed in at 109 is showing at least a 6-inch drop. I think. Let's hold it up here. Dead on. Yeah, I'd say, well, maybe 4 or 5. We'll go 4 inches on that one. Yeah. So let's see what this one's going to be. Okay, that was not a good shot. I wasn't even ready for that. Wow, not even on the target at 220. Go up here. Don't know where that went. Wow, I'm still hitting the bottom at 220. I mean, I'm up here and it's hitting down here in the leg, so I mean, we're looking at least, I want to say 1.5 feet. Try aiming right here. Boom. So we're looking 220 at about, yeah, I'd say definitely about 1.5 feet there. So I'm kind of scared to see what 275 is going to be like. I'm going ahead and guessing it's definitely going to be at least a foot. Not even on the target here. Okay. So we're shooting it with that second line down. Still not even. So right here, we're looking at about a 4-foot difference. See if I can at least get one on the bullseye here. Bullseye. Bullseye. Alright, so 275. About a 3-foot difference. Now the 320, I'm going ahead and just taking a guess. It's going to be this one right here. Bullseye, man. Look at that. We're completely out of ammo, but that was perfect. So, That would have been, that's about a 6-foot drop right there, my friends. 100 yards, so. Which, I mean, it's a 45-70. They have a lot of, it's a lever action gun. They're not, these bolt action cartridges are built a little different. Built to go farther. These are just more blunt and upfront guns. So now we are switching to one of my personal favorites, the Bergara B14 HMR. Let's go ahead and get this thing loaded up and see what she does. Zeroed in at 109. Let's get our shooting stick out so we can try to be at least a little bit accurate here. Dead on at 50. Dead on at 100. Dead on at 150. Or 160, whatever it is. I was a little high with that shot. Let's try it again. Hold on. Move my mouse over here. Yeah, we're looking at about an inch drop at 220. Still about an inch drop at 275, maybe half inch. We'll try it one more time. Yeah, about an inch. About an inch at 275. Alright. Reload here. 328. And we're looking at about 6-inch drop. 5-inch drop, maybe. Oh, I shot. That was my fault. That was definitely low. Let's hold it at the back. I want to say 5-inch drop. Try to hit a bullseye here. Not okay. Yeah, about 5-inch drop here. All right, that leaves us with one rifle left to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's clear this out. See if I can clear that out. Very last gun, which is the new Christensen's Arms Evoke 243. This one I don't have a lot of hope very far range because I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's 243, which I don't know. In real life, they might shoot pretty good. And this is actually my first time even pulling this gun out. I literally just bought it for this video. So we're at 109. Once again, you know the rules. Oh, I like the sound on this. Pretty much dead on at 50. Dead on at 100. Try it one more time just to be sure. About a half-inch drop at 150. I wouldn't even call that a half-inch, not even a quarter-inch, honestly. I'd say quarter to 0 inches to a quarter-inch low. Alright, there we're looking at about a 2-inch drop. Definitely 2 inches at 220. 2 to 3 inches at 275, which is not bad at all, actually. The 328 yard, and about a 6-inch drop, 328. Hold it at the back. Bullseye, dude, bullseye. Yeah, about a 6-inch drop at 328. So, not too bad. Comment down below what your favorite gun is in this game, favorite rifle. And we'll see you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and happy hunting.